Welcome to the Big Biz Show. Taking care of business. You want fast-talking, hard-hitting discussions on business and finance? Maybe with a barroom slant and some really salty peanuts? We're not counting calories. We're counting cash. Before we get to the man with the financial plan, meet the money team. Costa, Mary, and Greg. Now Captain Finance himself, Sully.
That's right. We are inside the Fortress of Solitude for Captain Finance, the Loft 100 Studios. Welcome to the Big Biz Show. Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, thanks for being along for the ride. Costa, Marybird Godwin, my favorite. Greg Todorov, also my favorite, and my super favorite, Sully.
Nice to see you. Look at that with the municipal. Municipal. We got Billy Arnett coming on next week.
I heard.
Mark Wahlberg's partner. In
I heard.
He's been on the air a number of times.
Hold on.
Are you a municipal fan?
Oh my God, love it. Love
they have female stuff?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Well, it's all female stuff now, isn't it?
Hey.
I don't know.
Ever since Eve.
I don't know. Let's ask Mike.
They got all the clothing and half the money.
Thank you. No, they're here in town. They got the big, beautiful Oceanside store, and then they have their massive flagship up in Orange County.
What's interesting, the rest of the country here is Oceanside. Ooh, what a fantastic place.
Is it the site of the ocean?
Well, there has been a renaissance.
I was going to say, it's
I would call it a regentrification versus a renaissance. There's nothing renaissance about Oceanside. This is like saying Daytona Beach as a renaissance.
It actually, have you been there? Have you been? There's some amazing spas and hotels, really good restaurants,
and then there's
Michelin star restaurants.
the highest crime per capita in the entire country because of the military base. So there's also that. Let's get straight to Howie Font, our analyst here on the Big Biz Show, shall we? I love how Howie went clubbing and got this music to Jared.
Yeah,
good to see you, Jared. Good to see you, Howard. Hey, let's talk about making more multimillionaires. What is this? What is this email I got from you today saying making more multimillionaires? Are you asking?
I'm just really happy that I could be talking about this. I thought I was going to look a little bit out of touch, and you guys are talking about how crummy, Ocean View, California. I know it's okay, but
this is so typical of the East Coast guy. Solano Beach and Del Mar. And
how expensive is La Jolla?
It's mediocre. Southern California. Who cares?
Ocean View, California is absolutely gorgeous by Pacific Palisades.
Of course it is.
Oceanside, California, which is next to Camp Pendleton, at one point, not anymore because there has been a regentrification, was the highest crime per capita in the country until about 6 years ago.
Chicago West.
Yeah, but it sounds to me like there's something like its highest crime per capita, and it's like the footprint is like 1 square foot.
It's exactly right.
One guy crosses the street and the crime rate's out of control.
That's what it used to be. Thanks for that. Okay. So tell us, how come super rich, I keep on hearing, super rich are getting richer? It's not because, and by the way, I'm going to get on my soapbox here for just 1 second.
Yeah.
The reason Amazon doesn't pay any taxes, the reason Target doesn't pay any taxes, the reason McDonald's doesn't pay any taxes, because they use the 71,000 page tax code, just like you do, to pay as least amount of tax as they can. Okay? They're playing fairly. Okay? It's not unfair. It's our progressive tax system, which is ridiculous. It's the same reason why you can write off certain ridiculous notions, and you can't write off other. You can only write off $1 million on your mortgage. Okay, and can you name any coastal state or border state that doesn't have at least $1 million? 30% of their homes are $1 million or more in terms of mortgages, and you can't write them off because of our progressive tax code. So what is happening is, when they say the rich are getting richer, it's because they own assets, right, Howie?
Listen, that's exactly right. I'm calling it a call to action, this segment, because I think in this country it's possible for most people to, get to the last third of their lives as millionaires, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But you have to own assets and let your money make money while you work.
But there's a big secret here. There's a huge secret here that not many people know. I would actually, let me say this, Howie. I think everyone knows this, but very few of them actually follow this.
Oh, that is a tease.
I think that is a tease.
Coming up, News Radio 600, Calgo. See you later. Traffic and weather together, talking on the 5.
All right, keep it here. A lot more to come. And the answer to that question on the other side.
Costa Sky.
Studios. Certainly appreciate you guys being along for the ride so far today. That is the incredibly talented Day Trader Trio.
Well, they're talented.
The greatest ever back here at the bar. It's Costa and, of course, Sully.
Boy,
we roll on.
It's like the old days when it was me and Russ. Just two, like we've driven them all away already. So it's scary. Hey, great to have you along. I will tell you that I think that we're going to be available. I know we're at 125 million U.S. households via either cable or otherwise.
Right.
You put a fork in your outlet. You can pull your foot out the window with some aluminum foil. You can also get.
How I do it.
I also know. Do you realize that? Do you hear that remember the old rabbit ears?
Yes.
Rabbit ears are coming back. Not necessarily the rabbit ears, but apparently the clearest signal on TV. James, you're familiar with this? The clearest signal on TV is because it's not processed. If it goes through cable, it's even less than we're seeing now. If it goes through rabbit ears, like through the air, it's apparently clear. So they're doing some sort of, like I said, they put a fork in the thing and they put some aluminum foil.
But you still need, does that mean you need the old school antenna?
No, somehow they're doing some sort of, do you have an antenna in your window in your car, right? Your radio doesn't work with an antenna.
Right.
Boy, remember those days. Remember this way?
Yeah.
That lasted for 6 minutes. But yeah, apparently the old antenna stuff is going up.
Love it.
What that does is it provides television to folks that don't have cable. And by the way, there's a new article in USA Today and also Business Insider that says that all the cable companies, okay, the DirecTV companies, the AT&T companies, are no longer going to be offering packages of channels. Because right now, if you have a package, you get channel, and then you can add the HBO and the Showtime.
Yeah.
It's all going through internet. They're turning into internet service companies. So in other words, like, remember the phone company doesn't exist anymore? Yeah. The cable companies aren't going to exist anymore, other than the internet companies. Because how do we consume media, right?
Exactly. Progress.
Speaking of which, we have no internet footprint. So unless you have rabbit ears, you can't get us. Good. What do we got? Who do we got coming on here?
Joining us right now is Mr. Dave Christensen. He's the CEO and president of Regenerative Medical Technology Group. Their ticker symbol is RMTG, as in George. We welcome him to the Big Biz Show, the very first time ever. Dave, how are you?
Dave, good to talk to you. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing great. I'm excited to learn you guys are out in Carlsbad. I grew up in Southern California, and heck, if I do good enough, you can bring me back. I'll come up there.
You're happy as long as you can do it in between your Penn and Teller shows at Las Vegas. we all know who you really are, Dave Christensen. Oh my God,
Dave's not here.
Hey, I have a question for you. Tell us about what you guys do, because if you look on the website, it's pretty impressive. It looks like you're at the tip of the spear, where you're at. But talk about a little bit of what you guys are all about for the people that don't know who you are yet.
Well, what's exciting about what we're doing is really the cutting edge of what's happening in medicine. The regenerative medicine industry is about to become a $35 billion industry. And this is the place where innovation brings solutions to real people. So when you don't really want to take the option of surgery, when you don't want to take the option of being hooked on pills to solve your chronic
speak for yourself. No, but so can I let me interrupt real fast. Is this the longevity play that is so front and center right now in terms of you talk about regenerative medicine? Because I will tell you, I went down a deep hole. And that was in the 80s, and I came out just recently. But recently I went down a rabbit hole of listening to Andrew Huberman podcasts, my good buddy Peter Attia, who I went to this challenge. When I was a taco shy of 400 pounds, Peter Attia and I, who wrote the book Outlive, who's I think one of the biggest regenerative guys out there, put me on the road to fitness again. But I've gone down this deep hole of NAD+ and peptide therapy. Is this in the same category, or is it exactly the same thing?
Absolutely. In fact, the technology that is used to build those cycles comes from our industry. The stem cell bases, the exosomes, the peptides, that is who we are. And those foundational biologics is what those guys are using to help guys like you get better, be stronger, be healthier, live longer, and
listen,
have an improved lifestyle.
I was big in the 80s, now I'm big and I'm 86 as of Friday. So I look pretty good. But here's my question though. So for GLP-1s, the new, Wegovy's and the Mounjaro, which sounds like a board game, and then also Saxenda, the P in GLP is peptide. So
That's right.
So talk about exactly from inception to fruition. Talk about your client base. Talk about who we're helping. Talk about the addressable market.
Sure. Let me just address that. There's 7,000 peptides out there, and a lot of them are ones that are well known that we never really considered it was something extraordinary or different. For example, insulin's a peptide. Pitocin that women take when they're pregnant, that's a peptide. Peptides help build and stimulate your own natural healing, your own natural growth. But what we do as a company is we really have 5 revenue streams. We have our own clinics in which we offer procedures. Our flagship is down in Cancun. It's the Cellular Hope Institute, and it's really a phenomenal operation. If you want to have first-class treatment, you want to look into Cellular Hope Institute, and that's where we have our procedures. We sell products, of course. I talked about the peptides. We have stem cell and exosomes. We make those in our own manufacturing location, and that's a huge product line called Cellgenic. And we do really well with our Cellgenic product.
So when you talk about biologics, are biologics different from peptides? Are you selling? Is it a retail type of thing where people are? Is this typically the medical industry, or can people go online? Like there's a website called Simple Peptides where you can, where I purchase. By the way, this segment brought to you by Simple Peptides. But the bottom line is this because look. This is, you could not be in a better space at a better time right now because look, you've got baby boomers. I'm at the end of the baby boomer. I was born in 60. Mm-hmm. You're Gen X, I think, a little bit. But long story short, you have this massive audience here, and look, dead is the new 90, right? I mean, honestly, like my dad just turned 97 years old on Sunday.
Mine's 93.
I really did turn 65 2 Sundays ago. Okay, and I will tell you, I showed Mike a picture. Then I showed him a picture of my hairline. 2 years ago, but this NAD+.
We can fix that too.
Yeah. You have a good HR department.
But the long story short is, I think the space you're in is the fountain of youth somehow, and I think that all of my sins of my past, some present. I mean, it was dry January, it was a monsoonal March, but I will tell you, I think this is with the addressable market that you're talking about. This I believe that you couldn't be in a better space. You're selling oxygen to people that need air at this point.
It's really exciting, and the best part about it is it's natural. When we were created originally in the womb, as a zygote, we began to grow, and those stem cells get sent out with DNA instructions as building blocks, and the body grows. And over time, eventually, your body says, hey, based on the DNA instructions that you're going to be this tall or this wide or brown hair, you're going to have this big a bone structure. You stop growing. If we were still growing, we'd be 30 feet tall, right?
Yeah.
So what we do is we tap into those original resources, those stem cells, those exosomes and peptides, and inject those into the places where you're having pain or inflammation to help them heal and grow. And that's a big part of our business. And I'm a good case for that. On my left shoulder, I had complete shoulder replacement surgery. Too many dirt bike wipeouts. Too many surfing crashes.
Dude, it was the magic. Let's face it, Penn. Listen. Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining, pal. We all know who you are. Let me ask you something real quickly. When you, first of all, reset here real quick. So
Dave Christensen, CEO, President, Regenerative Medical Technology Group. Their ticker symbol RM. T is in Tom, G is in George.
So in 2024, you guys increased your sales by 70% year over year, 146 year over year in Q1 in 2025. You're killing. Talk to me about the client base once again, and talk to me about the addressable market, which I interrupted you on.
No worries. So the client base either comes in to have the procedures done. Some of our clients are other regenerative medical technology offices around the world. They buy lab equipment. We help them buy the best lab equipment. They buy our products. And we also offer training. One thing that quickly gets overlooked in our portfolio is an organization called ISSCA. ISSCA, International Society for Stem Cell Application. And somewhere in the world, every month, we're giving these amazing seminars. I just got back from Buenos Aires, Argentina, where we had 200 plus doctors begging to be trained in regenerative medicine. It's not like they can go to Harvard, medical school and learn about how, regenerative medicine application and get certified in it. We offer these certification courses. They learn it, and then they do real life training in a clinic the next 2 days, and they walk away with a big certification.
So here's my question for you. Do you think there's going to be a time, because as I'm ordering NAD plus IVs, once a week, or I'm getting patches on. I'm getting these, I'm taking, I get 4 subcutaneous syringes every morning. It takes me more time to put that on my makeup in the morning. Stop it. But the bottom line, will there be a time that they have stem cell retail B2C? Do you think there's going to be a time where your business is realizing that we have the ability to extend our lives by doing not a one-size-fit-all, but sort of a cycle, as you said, of, if you're looking for longevity, if you're looking for healing, if you're looking for, skin rejuvenation, all that. Is there going to be a time that happens, you think, in our life?
Oh yeah, I mean, look at the climate politically that's causing those changes. Look at the thing that's happening, at the federal level, the release of these constraints, and frankly, the constraints put on those who have blocked this stuff. Many of the best peptides that you want to get your hands on, that you want to use, the BPC 157s, the TB 500s, those are blocked specifically by the FDA because they help reduce inflammation and chronic pain, and they promote healing.
Well, what's interesting, and you're absolutely right. What's funny is, like 2 weeks ago, BPC 157 was released by the FDA to go out in retail sales. So guess we made an order this morning. There you go.
But I believe it's only in pill form. Not
buddy, get over here from Arizona. You can get you in the studio here. I'd love to have you on the air more.
Dave Christensen, CEO, President, Regenerative Medical Technology Group, RMTG. Yes. For the Loft 100 Studios. We are in sunny Southern California. Big Biz Show rolls on. That's the Day Trader Trio, arguably the best in the business. Hands down. Back here at the bar, I'm not so sure. It's Costa, and of course, it's Sully.
Hey, Kirk Huntsman, good friend of the show, good friend of mine, CEO of Vivos, VVOS, stock symbol, of course, sleep apnea, the silent epidemic. I was talking to the silent epidemic. I was talking to you yesterday.
Yep.
Was it yesterday you went to the dentist? The day before?
Yeah, no, yesterday I had my normal...
So, and then after that, I talked to Kirk about what he's doing.
Yeah.
And let's bring Kirk up. Hey, Kirk, your boy here is, he's getting thinner. His wife hasn't heard him snore or make any sort of animal noise. Well, there's a couple animal noises that we all know about.
Just when I eat.
But
yes, but has she let him back in the bedroom? That's
Kirk,
just the...
I am now, once again, 3 feet away from her. There's a couple dogs on the bed as well. But yeah, So
she's
blown away.
So talk about, for the people who haven't heard, so talk about, of course, Vivos has a oral device that does many things. One thing is help with sleep apnea, obstructive sleep apnea, which is the silent killer, as Kirk's been known to say. But for you, when you heard him, you started tearing up the first time you took Kirk's, because you knew that you had a CPAP machine that you'd throw on the floor.
Yes. That
your wife was literally, and you knew that it was a dangerous thing. I mean, even Kirk, you mentioned that one of the chief justices died in his sleep because he forgot to bring a travel CPAP machine.
Anthony Scalia.
Yeah. So talk about what's.
Kirk Huntsman was the light bulb, or the clouds cleared and there was the rainbow, because I was thinking, okay, finally, this is what I need. And so, I went down, I did my very, very at-home sleep test, very easy at-home sleep test. Dr. Perp with Fine Dentistry is the woman who got me into the appliance.
And this is your first visit.
There it is.
Excuse me. Look at how much bigger you were then.
Exactly.
You're 30 pounds. Look at that. My goodness, man. You're a taco shy of $3 bills.
Pretty much.
And one more burrito.
And went down and, had the x-rays, the measurements, and it's so easy and so non-invasive. And it's sent away and it's measured to the specifications of your mouth. It comes, you pop it in.
When do you put it in, typically?
I put it in about 7 o'clock at night, and I'll wear it till I wake up in the morning. There's sometimes I'll take it with me if I got a long drive.
Okay, let's face it, Mike. 11:30 p.m. after your third pee, you're in the kitchen.
But
eating something. No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing. No, you've lost weight, and you.
Yeah.
So for you, is it uncomfortable? Does it just feel like a mouth guard?
No, it would, like people who have a grinding guard or a mouth guard that they sleep with. That's what it feels like. It's not uncomfortable. It's not intrusive at all.
And basically, it's proprietary, so I can talk about this. What it's doing is reshaping the physiology of your mouth and your breathing area. I remember when Kirk did your test, he said that Mike was breathing through basically a cocktail straw.
Yes.
So yesterday you went in for what?
Just the normal checkup. You've got a year's worth that you go in, and they just make sure that the device is doing what it's doing. They take your measurements, and it's.
Do they adjust it?
And they adjust it, and you adjust it at home as well. And it's, Kirk, I tell you what, throwing away that CPAP machine was one of the greatest days of my life, thanks to you and Vivos.
So Kirk, you've heard a million stories like this, but isn't that great? Because we met each other 7 months ago. And this is pretty typical of the experience, correct?
Man, this is what we see over and over again. We're pushing 75,000 patients now with this treatment, and it's the first time that anybody has introduced an alternative to CPAP where there's a limited duration of treatment and then it's one and done. And so it's painless, it's cost effective, it's all these things, and it really works. And so, patients like Mike all around the world are availing themselves of this, and it's growing, and it's becoming quite the thing now. We're enjoying a lot of success right now, so it's a great time at Vivos.
It's funny. It's been called a missing link in mental health treatment because, of course, the OCD and such is attached to it. It's been attached to children behavior, so on and so forth.
ADD with kids.
I mean, it's not just about preventing snoring and OSA. It's about many things. I got to say, I think the biggest fear for you guys is that you said it's a silent killer because many people don't know they have it. I think you're on the way to proving that. Solving that, because now we've got a new business model for Vivos, an acquisition strategy. In terms of just using dentists out there to get the word out, you guys have done something pretty unique. Talk about what you're doing.
Yeah. So one of the things we realized is that we were just not penetrating the market with this kind of a story. Our ability to penetrate the market was just not, we weren't realizing the full impact that we needed to have. And so we asked ourselves the question, where are the patients? Where are they? I mean, obviously some of them show up in a dental chair, but that just wasn't getting it done. So to scale our business appropriately, we needed to get in front of patients at that juncture in their journey where they realize that they have sleep apnea. They're being told by their sleep physician, you have moderate, severe sleep apnea, whatever. And the patient's wondering, okay, what do I do with it? And what we found, we made this acquisition out in Las Vegas.
Of a sleep center. By the way, last time I checked, wasn't Vegas called the city that never sleeps?
Yeah.
Those are the smartest thing you ever did.
It's a little bit ironic, but believe it or not, people are not sleeping there for a lot of reasons. We won't get into all of them, but there is this sleep center group out there. There's actually 7 locations, but they see 3,000 new patients a month that are all being sent by the hospitals and the cardiologists and the PCPs around Las Vegas. They go to this sleep center to get tested. And what we're finding is that when patients are giving an option to CPAP where they don't have to take CPAP, they can really have a rehabilitation option, they're choosing it.
So, Kirk, let me ask this. So, and one of the reasons, and you guys talked about this, I think, on Monday or last week, off the air, one of the reasons people go to sleep centers is because it gives doctors, you're testing for one or two things with the at-home test. An in-sleep center is a more comprehensive for what doctors may be looking at 10 other things for. And if I'm not mistaken, your sale, this is really interesting, folks, in terms of this is really good to pull the covers back in a public company. The bottom line is, how do we get revenue here? Well, the device, we're selling devices. Like, we're selling these things. That's how we make money for Vivos. I mean, honestly. Now, there's going to be other models here. The bottom line is, before the on-ramp to make those sales, we were depending on a third party, a dentist. Okay, and by the way, dentists are sold everything from fat removal to
Botox,
to jawline, to Botox, because of course being a dentist now is different than being a dentist before. They're not automatically making $1 bazillion, so they're adding other funnels of income. This was just other funnel. So when you're depending on a dentist to sell your product, that's great. You guys did good. Now you have completely brought another funnel on, which is an on-ramp to exactly who you need. Talk about the conversion rate, because instead of seeing one patient at a time at a dentist, these guys are seeing how many patients, you said?
3,000.
3,000.
3,000 new patients every month, and that number's growing.
And that's one sleep center?
No, there's 7 locations.
7 locations, okay.
It's one group, but listen.
But those 7 dentists don't see 3,000 patients. The difference is you just increased the ability. So it was brilliant. So the conversion rate. Talk about the conversion rate in terms of people coming in.
Well, the conversion rate, we think, is the key metric, right? It's how many at bats do you have and how many hits do you get, right? It's the batting average.
And in this case, it's how many people are being presented with the opportunity to use a Vivos device versus how many we're selling.
Yeah. So we're presenting, thousands and tens of thousands of dollars of treatment every day, and we've previously announced to the public that in our experience, it's 60 to 70% conversion rate on patients.
His name is Kirk Huntsman. Vivos. We got to get you back. We get you back in the studio, buddy. It's
Yeah,
great.
we
It's great
do.
to see you. Congratulations.
I need to get back there. I'll come down.
Kirk Huntsman, CEO of Vivos Therapeutics, their ticker symbol VVOS. Very simply put.
Oh, that's how it is, huh?
Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, the Big Biz Show rolls on. Of course, we are also heard on the American Forces Network in over 175 countries, all the ships at sea. And as we always say to our brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces, thank you for what you do, what you've done for us. That was the Day Trader Trio back here at the bar at Costa, and it's Sully.
125 million TV homes strong. Don't forget Bloomberg El Financiero. Olé, Mike.
Olé. ¿Qué pasó?
Love these sus manos.
Sí.
¿Dónde está el Casa de Pepe?
El Cajon La Jolla and La Mesa.
What are those glasses doing? What do you got there?
Just my normal going blind middle-aged readers. Clark.
You're more Chris Farley Kent than Clark.
Wow.
Who's our next guest? I thought he was here to serve me papers. Actually,
No. That's in the next block. Steve Willey is the CEO of Innovega, and Steve, and you'll be able to explain this in nauseating detail, which I hope you do. But
okay,
basically,
be nice to the guy.
How long have I got?
As long as you want.
And that does everybody. Good.
Out of here.
See you next week. You're helping people who are legally blind see, right?
That's about it.
In a sense?
That's in a nutshell. That's pretty well it, yeah.
Because Mike's been looking for someone when he's blind drunk to help him to see. So let me ask you this. Look at 295 million people around the world who live with moderate to severe visual impairment. Okay, right. And look, there's some point where I think you turn about 42 and your right arm isn't long enough to hold the menu, right? Is it so like out of nowhere, all of a sudden, like you got to hold your menu out to
it happened
to the
with
East
me
Coast.
At 40.
Yeah, and then but you're talking about more severe issues with eyesight. Talk about that. Like, talk about the addressable market here, because is it a genetic condition, by the way, or is it just something that happens?
Any and all of that. So that's the definition of visually impaired, legally blind. It means as thick as those glasses are, you still can't see. So it's like you went to Costco, you did your best, and you can't read, you can't recognize a loved one, you can't watch TV. They're visually impaired, and if it gets worse, then at some point you become legally blind. And clearly those individuals can't drive, they've lost their independence,
exactly,
lost the quality of life.
So what is the difference between sight and functional sight? Because for me, you ever put I'm hanging on the water wagon on those 1.5 readers and realize if I put on a 5.5, oh my God, that's what I used to see when I was 15. At some point, there's the bucket list and there's the effort list. Right? You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And the effortless means I just can't see anymore. And I think we grow to just be okay with the way we can see. And I think what you're doing here is probably bringing that back to folks that can't see at all. Because at this point, man, if I put a pair of glasses on that I should be wearing, I'm Mr. Magoo. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think you sort of like settle. What does that look like in terms of people that really have functional issues with their vision?
Well, what we've learned is that they're not necessarily all wanting to read the smallest print in the New York Times. They want
to be able to see something.
They just want their life back. They just say, hey, I used to cook. I got these recipes. I can't read them anymore. Elton John says, I'm not going to go to the studio. I can't read the lyrics. I'm done.
Oh, wow.
So
but he said that in '72 after a heroin issue. So no, but the problem is, look at, you got guys like, as long as you're talking music, guys like Stevie Wonder, right?
Yeah.
Ray Charles. You got guys that are legally blind.
Right.
Are we talking about bringing sight back specifically? Or are we talking about just lifting the bar? Because as I was just saying, I'm okay with just being able to see you right now.
Right.
Like to the point where you're sort of like, this is what happens when you get old, right?
Yeah, we ran, this total thing about sight. So we don't, if you've got cataracts and you've got, AMD, these diseases, we don't fix that. You go get surgery or, you're in trouble for the rest of your life. So the sight piece, the physiology, we don't tamper with. However, what people want is just, I want to act as if I could see.
Gotcha.
So that's what we focus on. So you think about a prescription. You talked about 1.5 something readers. That's a prescription, a lens prescription. We add a digital prescription. And if you put them both together, you enable someone who's not seeing the world to all of a sudden see it, interpret it.
And this is no surgery and no implants.
Yeah, so cameras and displays and algorithms, calculations. And you asked earlier, how do people get this way? Well, many of it is age-related diseases. If you live long enough, your eyes go bad, your hearing goes bad, as we all know.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Yes, exactly. And we're living longer. So there's
so we talked about it earlier with the peptide guy about ageism and about longevity.
Yeah.
You've got guys like Andrew Huberman and Peter Attia writing books about look, honestly, goodness, I turned 65 last Sunday. Okay, my dad turned 97, and I will tell you, part of what I've done last year is gone down a rabbit hole in terms of peptide therapy and NAD plus and so on and so forth, and not to mention to take care of yourself. I mean, I would have been like, when my grandfather died when he was 58. I mean, it's a different story because here's the problem. It's the same problem with investing, right? We put money together if you're responsible, so you have a retirement plan. And I think the retirement plan has changed because when our parents were out, they would wait to retire at 55 or 60, and then they'd go and cruise and stuff. We're all about usable days now. We're retiring as we go along. We're not waiting to have the experience. We're doing it at the same time. I think the same thing's happening with health, if I'm not mistaken. Like, we are little by little wanting to cash in on our good behavior. But the problem is, as you get old.
Yeah.
I mean, look at. I'm just telling you right now, just for the record, I don't want to be 100. I don't want to be around that long. At the same time, though, I want to be able to see until I'm, I got 20 good summers left, then 5 really bad ones after that, the Alpo years. How is this going to help the current addressable market, and what does it do for the current addressable market? And then we're talking about the scalability for the rest of us, because now I'm starting to think I want some too.
Yeah, a lot of it is quality of life. That's what you're describing. And those that we meet and test and such, they can put their fingers on what it is they want back. Want to see the grandchild, want to go to a baseball game, want to read my smartphone. So by providing that, they go from withdrawn, hiding away, why would I go out? I can't drive, I might trip over something, to, oh, okay, well, that's fixed. So they re-engage with society. If you wake up one morning and you're blind and you've lost that engagement, bad things start to happen. You get depressed very quickly. You get dementia very quickly. So all of that impacts quality of life.
I have a question. So Jeremy Poinsono, we do a lot of work with the Challenge Athletes Foundation. Jeremy Poinsono is what they call, he's got pinhole vision. Okay. Legally blind.
Yeah.
By the way, he's a professional golfer.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. His dad stands behind it. He's the only what they call blind golfer. So you've got our vision, which is old guys, trying to put contact lenses and readers on. Then you've got a guy like that with pinhole vision. Then you've got, let's say, as you mentioned, a Stevie Wonder, or Elton John, then a Stevie Wonder. What is the spectrum in terms of folks you think you can help?
Yeah, most of the 295 million, which is growing to 475, almost 500 million by 2050, have what's called central vision loss. Wherever they look, they can't see it. It's just a big blur. So that's where our first product is dealing with that directly. What you're describing is that they've got pretty good vision in the center. They're able to play golf and hit a ball and see the ball, but they don't know what's happening out here. It's the second product. All of it relies upon digital technology. And increasingly, like, glasses are connected to the cloud, to the AI, to intelligent agents. So we've got this piling on of like optics technology, digital technology, intelligent work coming together. And it works.
So talk about the actual product itself. Talk about product number one.
Yeah, so it's a pair of glasses. It looks like glasses, feels like glasses. You put them on. They're electronic. There's cameras and there's displays. That person no longer needs to, or doesn't see their world well, so we don't let them see their world. We look through a camera. And by us taking whatever they're looking at. So for example, if that was your watch and they're looking at your watch, they say, well, I can't see nothing. If that watch was like 6 feet high, they'd say, well, that's a pretty damn nice watch, because at 6 feet high, they can interpret it, they can see the dials, etc. So we have to give them the impression that they're looking at a watch 6 feet high as opposed to a watch on your hand.
Is this where AI comes in? Is this where you're assuming there's IP, there's intellectual property here in terms of?
Filed 80 patents, so everything we do is very novel. I mean, this was judged impossible. We started our company because we said smart glasses are going to happen. We got smartphones, some of us have got smart watches. It's inevitable. But how do you get this really big virtual experience in glasses?
Well, smart glasses now mean that, like, if Mike put a pair of glasses on, he could have a script going and you wouldn't know it.
Correct.
Or he could be taping or videotaping what's going on around him, or if the doctor, they even have glasses where you look at the patients, giving them blood pressure and so on and so forth. This is a different type of smart glass. It's a different lane, right?
It's the extent of it. So you could have a small screen that would give that script, or you give the doctor a little, postage stamp viewing off to the corner, which says, put the knife here. That's one thing. Ours is a big, expansive VR experience. So think about a VR headset. The Oculus
virtual reality,
headset,
right? VR.
Virtual reality as in a huge experience. How do you get that in a normal pair of glasses? And then what would you do with it? Well, you could certainly be involved in gaming. Tencent, one of the largest gaming companies in the world, was our first investor because they say this is the future of gaming. VR is the future of gaming. And then guess what? The kids aren't wearing VR headsets. None of the three of us are wearing a VR headset today because they're bulky and heavy and goofy.
And claustrophobic as well.
And claustrophobic. But if there were a pair of cool glasses like you're wearing
Absolutely.
there, make all the difference.
Steve Willey is the CEO of Innovega. Their website, innovega.io. That's INNOVEGA.io.
I think what's interesting is your advanced smart glasses restore what's called functional sight. I'm going to keep you for an extra segment here, so you're
fantastic.
You're also donating to a challenge. No, I'm just kidding. But what I want to figure out is, I think when we come back, we're going to talk about. You mentioned on the break that you'd like to get a hold of folks like maybe Stevie Wonder or Elton John or something like that, which I think James could probably arrange. We get Phil and James to get him and Stevie together. I mean, seriously. I mean, it could happen because on the next break, we're going to talk about. I want to reveal what that looks like to a person that is totally blind, and in terms of, because you think in terms of VR, are we is the message going to their head, is it going to their eyes, so on and so forth. Much more to come. His name is Steve Willey,
CEO of Innovega, doing great things for people who can't see great things. Keep it right here. Much more to come with the BBS after this. Big Biz Show continues live from the Loft 100 studios. Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening.
Nope, we don't say it.
Hope you're having a great day.
We don't say it.
It's like we like to say around these parts, a big old howdy to
No
ya.
one's ever said that.
The band said it, I say it every day. It's on t-shirts across the world. Costa and Sully continue.
Of course, if you're coming back, but Steve Willey, Innovega, we're talking about smart glasses that actually restore functional sight. What is functional? So talk about the definition. What's the bar for functional sight?
Functional sight to us means that it's meaningful from the standpoint of the person gets to live life again.
Okay, so is it individualized? So my functional sight would be, boy, it sure would be great to be able to read a menu or be able to read a book. Or actually, I've got a contact lens now that doesn't work. I mean, think of me, ladies, because I wear one contact lens. Either think of me as a patch on my eye in the 1960s, those Scotch commercials, or me with a monocle is basically what I have. So I've got a reading lens in the left eye. And my brain has learned over the last 7 years to figure it out. I would just love to take the things out for a minute, but if I do, and I try to read, it looks like I'm swimming through. It feels like I'm swimming through water. That's what it looks like. So that's, for me, the bar would be something different. For a Stevie Wonder, or for an Elton John, as you mentioned at the beginning, what is functional sight to them?
Well, Elton John said he's not going to the studio to write lyrics and read lyrics because it's just too frustrating. He says his life is just gone. Can't watch the kids play soccer. I mean, he's a laundry list. Stevie Wonder would have something else. He'd say, yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm enjoying my music. I got my fans. On the other hand, there's this one thing that I wish I could do. That becomes a functional piece. We're meeting someone this afternoon, and he tested our glasses, and he said, this just changes everything. He's making an investment in the company. But we dug in a bit more and we said, what exactly is it that changes everything? He said, baseball. He said, I used to get out to that game like 3 times a week, different games, different venues, etc. He said, my life is shut down. So for him, functional sight is watching his favorite players on that team play.
So talk to us about someone who's legally blind. We keep on using Stevie Wonder's example. Been blind since birth. How is he possibly able to, without connecting something to his brain, and playing a video for him in his brain, how does this work?
The distinction we make is if there's no sensitivity to light, you are blind, blind, blind. That's the definition of blind. There's nothing happening at the retina at the back of the eye. We cannot deal with that. If the retina has some sensitivity, but it can't do much with the information, and that's why the world is like just a blur, we can do a lot with that. And we can play digitally with the brightness and contrast and color. Maybe some people see reds better than blues. Maybe some people need really bright, a bright environment to see. And others, if you have albinism, you need a really dark environment.
Is it real? Is it in real time? Is it just in real time?
Instantly. Yeah, we basically set it up. Now you ask about the intelligent. Here's a cool thing on the intelligence, the intelligent agents. So this connects to the phone connects to the cloud has got agents, and you say, I'm going to let this agent look through my little tiny camera in my glasses, you know, the camera on your phone. So if you're legally blind and you're walking and you think you've got everything under control, but there's a curb coming up and it's 6 feet away and it's really difficult to see, your agent's going to be whispering in your ear, you got a curb coming up 6 feet, 6 inches down. you might have missed it completely. So now you get a third prescription. It's like, hey, one thing I miss all the time are those darn curbs. So layering it all on makes the magic happen.
You got a Gen 2 system that pairs smart glasses with nano-optic contact lenses. Is that this section here, or is it something different?
Yeah, no, it's just an extension. It's like higher octane from the first pair of glasses. So the first pair of glasses, maybe that enables 50% of the 300 million there, 295 million, to have their quality of life restored. But what about the ones that are at the far end? Like you said, Stevie Wonder. What if we check Stevie Wonder and he's been a certain way so long that he's got not much happening at his retina.
But even getting the ball down the field a yard for someone who's blind.
That's what we've learned.
I mean, right? I mean, it's not about getting to here. What if you're just to here and you worked before, right?
It's remarkable because we're a bunch of good engineers. We start companies to do difficult things, and we thought we had to get that tiny print.
So talk about Arthur Zhang, your CTO from Apple Vision, because he's one of your guys.
Yeah, he was one of the lead architects of the Apple Vision Pro. So they must have spent billions of dollars.
That's the new where I can remember the Tom Hanks movie or Tom Hanks. It's like I call it Tom Cruise movie where he's moving stuff around.
Right.
You can actually work on your. In fact, I sent one of those systems to Rome from Sublime, who actually is using it to write music now. He's moving stuff as he's not having you. So he architected that. Is he part of this now?
He's part of this now. He's joined as an employee, and he's got two passions. Number one is glasses are supposed to look like glasses, and we're supposed to bring best of breed technology to the glasses. And number two is, hey, those patients, if you were just doing defense, that's interesting. When I say it's like gaming, enterprise defense. But if you're going to these patients and meeting them, where they have the need, I'm in. And that's what's happened in our company. So we started our company just looking for something really difficult to solve.
I was going to ask you, what was the genesis of Innovega?
It was this expectation that we would move from smartphones and smartwatches to smart glasses, but we all want bigger TVs, bigger monitors, etc. And you couldn't get those in smart glasses. So our company was started, okay, we're going to do the impossible. We're going to get these big experiences in normal glasses. That's how it started. And then from there it was pick the first app, and we picked patients. The very cool way of thinking about patients is that there's an impairment of some sort, whether it be hearing or memory or sight, etc.
Yeah.
And we want to bring best of breed technology to the patient. Well, where do you bring it? Do you bring it in a cell phone that you got to kind of bring out of your pocket every 10 minutes? No, you put it in a pair of glasses.
You know, it's interesting. I was just looking up what you're talking.
Yeah.
The word iPhone was not in our lexicon until 2007.
Amazing.
Right? iPad, or I beg your pardon, iPad, I think it was 2009.
Yeah.
Think about that. So you're talking about 15, 18 years ago, we had the first iPhone, and now we're talking about the next generation.
It's going to explode.
I mean, I would say that's arguably is faster than the speed of light. I mean, it's what's next for you guys before you let you out of here? What do you got next?
Yeah, well, with our first product that we described, we've prototyped it, we've built samples, we've tested 15 patients, we've published the results. Hey, basically test the patients, and good, bad, or the other, we publish it anyway. On average, it's been reported that the patients achieved 20/20 normal vision for reading and for distance. Okay, now we're taking it commercial. We've got the largest contract manufacturer in Taiwan, one of the top handful of contract manufacturers. They make product for Apple and Microsoft. Mm-hmm. We're within a week of contracting with them and taking this product to market next year. So,
is there any FDA issue? Is there an archivist story with the FDA? Does it have to be approved as a device?
It's beautiful. So if we want to launch this product in Istanbul, or we've got complete latitude.
Amazing stuff. Steve Willey, the CEO of Innovega. Again, the website, innovega.io, INNOVEG as in George, A.io. You got to promise to come back in studio and just...
Anytime. Thank you for this invitation.
As the story grows.
That does it for us, Michael.
That is going to do it for us. To everybody out there who makes this show possible by watching it, we always appreciate it. We'll see you next time here on The Big Biz Show.